Mike, where do you come up with ideas? I mean, I know you are a performer, you do sing, but you also said your passion is songwriting. Where do you come up? Where do you come up with ideas for songs?
You know, part of my quiet time, Kurt, is sitting on the porch or sitting on the bed, drinking coffee and just banging on the guitar or the piano. And you know, and sometimes a song is like raising a child. You might, you might get a chorus or a lyric started, and it might be 6 months later before you can actually finish it. And then there's times where you actually sit down and it just all comes out. American Scream was like that. It just kind of all came out at one time. And you know, my inspiration is just a daily devotion with the Lord. You know, just picking up the guitar and not trying to make something happen, but just kind of letting it come and just getting a tune or a melody, and it kind of starts from there.
Do you ever just in life, just living life, just hear a hook, hear somebody say something, and you say that's a hook?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Oh yeah, yeah. There's stuff like that. Well, that face to face was like that. You know, it's my friend. He was wanting this person to talk to him face to face. Just communicate to me face to face, and instead of off in the distance or disconnected. And so that was kind of the premise for that song.
Now, do you help lead worship at church and everything? I think you mentioned that a little bit.
I do. To me, Kurt, worship is one of the most important things that a person can experience in their life. Having that spiritual connection of just actually ministering to the Lord first. That's where you get strength in your life and the passion in your life. And we're blessed with a band that plays every service, and Michelle leads, and we've got some great singers, and I play guitar, and so we just kind of, everybody does their part. And we try to lead people into His presence, and because we know that's where people can have a connection and overcome from is from that connection with the Lord.
Yeah, Mike. You've been around music for a while, a long time. What are some influences that have made you the artist you are today? Who's kind of shaped you to who you are?
Right. That's a good question, Kurt. I listened to all kind of music growing up. I've seen every concert out there in the world there was: Aerosmith, Eagles, AC/DC, all those kind of influences. But actually, when I got in the church, and I made that connection spiritually, some of the first people that influenced me, a friend of mine turned me on to Keith Green, bless his heart. And, I didn't like him when I first heard him. And most Christian artists are like that. First time you listen to him, I don't know about this. But if you're really seeking after the Lord and you take the time to listen to some of these artists out there, they can really touch your heart. And I gave him a second chance, and he influenced me a lot just because lyrically what he was doing. He would put a song that was so spiritual, to music, and it was the Word of God. It just was manifested in music, and he was a big influence. Even though my style of playing is not like that, he was a big influence at the time. The Imperials, back in the '80s, there wasn't many Christian groups out there. Music is, I love all the music that's out there now. Cutlass, gosh, Casting Crowns. It's so many groups. Jeremy Camp, that God has got out there that He's raised up, so diverse. There's something for everybody.
When someone comes to see you in concert, when you're out doing one, what can someone expect when they come see you in concert, and what do you want them to take away, Mike?
For me, Kurt, it's more of an intimate thing. There's nothing like the lights going off and things like that. I'm not, some big, blowout type concert like that. For me, it's more of an intimate relationship. I want to connect with people one-on-one, face-to-face. I don't want it to be something just entertaining per se. I want it to be something that they can go away and say, man, I'm changed spiritually, and that's that small setting for me. The music that I play, Kurt, it's something that a person can listen to when they're by themselves and they really got time to meditate and listen. Not something they just want to, wash the car to per se, but something they can really, listen to and it can touch their life. And I like that intimate setting a lot.
Now, do you have your CDs for sale when you're out in concert?
Sure, yeah. Kurt, I have the CDs for sale, but I give stuff away. Okay. It's just always been in my heart just to bless people. If somebody's want something, it's a tract to me. It really is a tract. But yeah, I sell them, but most of the time I bless people. Here, take it, sow it to somebody else.
Yeah.